What's up, my friend? Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. My name is K Diamond with Prosperity Academy Ministries, where our mission and our vision is to create original Christian content based off of three tenets: Christian music, Christian entertainment, and Christian education. And today we have an important video to discuss. We're going to be looking into some influencers that they don't claim Jesus Christ, they don't claim to be Bible readers, but they're recognizing how even evil and demonic the entertainment industry is, the music industry is, content, the content creators, how the devil is using everything, and there's an agenda behind that. So before we dive into that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Devil music.
Interesting.
I listen to music, I'm like, hang on, is this what Luke was talking about? Like, should I not be listening to this right now?
Who's the origin source of that song? What's their intent? What are the lyrics? What are the lyrics telling me? Is it nurturing my soul? Is it destroying me? Is it making me view women in a different lens? Is it making me think about things that I shouldn't be thinking about? Or is it inspiring me? Is it pushing me towards positivity? Usually, once again, if it's mainstream, it's based on controlled narratives. And I would just be very careful, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a movie, whether it's a song, be very careful and try to avoid anything that you think isn't going to nurture your soul. Be very careful with the lyrics because repetition influences behavior.
What do you
Wow. So I love the last part where he said, and you guys can look at the video to kind of see, read what he was saying. But he's saying, is the music that you're listening to, is it nurturing your soul? We talked about in previous videos, if you guys go back, music as a whole, the beats, the production, it's not demonic. It's the lyrics that is put on top of this music that is making it demonic. And how it's saying it's a controlled narrative. If you just turn on or listen to music or watching entertainment, you see they're not hiding no more. It's out in the open. It's so even the shows, even everything is attached towards our kids. It's an attack on our kids. It's an attack on the younger generation, and it's something that we have to open our eyes. We have to take a stand. The devil, he as the Bible say, he roams around like a roaring lion looking for whoever he can devour. And it's like, man, we have to make sure we guard what we're putting into our ears. Because what we put into our ears is going to our heart, and out of our heart, it comes out of our mouth. So we have to be careful with that. Another interesting video that I want to show is Glenn Beck. He talks about Jason Whitlock. He talks about on the Glenn Beck show who owns the music industry. And people don't understand. People think that these artists, they're writing the lyrics, and then they just, get hit records and perform. It is way deeper and darker than that. We about to hear right here. Let's take a listen.
It's not just Diddy. It's like BlackRock and Vanguard. They actually own the music industry. And
These are
control
companies.
the music.
Wait. The investment houses of BlackRock and Vanguard, they own the music industry?
Investment companies.
Absolutely. From Sony Music Group to they're the most invested in the music industry. They're the most through Viacom. They own BET, MTV, VH1. They're in control of the music industry, and they also own the overwhelming majority of stock in the private prison industry. I think the stock name is called CXW now. It's called Core Civic. It used to be called Corrections Corporations of America, and then they transitioned the name. And so this whole hip-hop deal was about creating a culture where, like, prison is a rite of passage.
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prison.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't.
It's not just Diddy, it's like...
Wow. So guys, it's very demonic. It's all about profit for them. But on the other end, you know, the listener, you're being controlled, you're being harmed, and they don't care because with these private prisons, obviously they turn up the violence in this music, specifically hip hop and rap. They turn up the violence, so obviously more people that goes into prison, more money for them. Very demonic agenda. That's why you see nowadays, you know, the imagery in the music, it's not what it used to be about, you know, back in the day. Lyrically, you know, rap and hip hop, it was a message behind it. Now, obviously, we see there's a difference. There's another video about this secret meeting in LA that I want to show here. Let's play this.
Comfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become solid investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior.
Make music to promote criminal behavior. Rap
He assured
music
us that this would be
specifically.
a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, and as employees, we also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men.
But guys, that was only 3 instances of influencers where they recognize how evil the industry is. And I want to go into the Bible because this is our GPS. This is how we walk on this earth. This is how we should live our life. And that's how I live my life, according to this word. If it's not in the Bible, I want nothing to do with it. And that should be your mindset as well too. And that also goes to what we listening to. It goes back to that first video. What is it doing to your soul? What's the lyrics that you're singing or rapping? What is it doing to your soul? Is it uplifting or is it tearing down? Is it speaking life or is it speaking death? But let's go ahead and dive into Galatians 5. So Galatians 5:16, it says, "So I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives. Then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. The sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. And the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other, so you are not free to carry out your good intentions." But when you are directed by the Spirit, you are not under obligation to the law of Moses. And then the next verse talks about how what happened when you follow the desires of your sinful nature, and the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit, and it lists those things. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope this video was a blessing to you. And if you guys want us to discuss any other videos or any other topics, make sure you drop it in the comments. And before we leave, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We out.